Right. Okay. Last night we shared a story in Joshua chapter 1, and then it says, when Joshua was so afraid of being a leader, and then God came to him and then He told him, "Be strong, right? Be courageous," 3 times. Because God already knew that the shaking moment will come to Joshua, and then the moment that he cannot stand alone. And when he came to him and he said, be strong and very courageous, and then he gave one promise. The promise was this: wherever you go, I will be with you. That's it. I will make a way for you. I will open the path before you. And after that, God gave no further instruction. So now Joshua is ready. He's ready to defend. And God already gave him a promise. So he could do whatever he wants. Right? Wherever you go, I'll go with you. That was God's promise. And Joshua want to move forward with his people. And the first choice that he made after he met the Lord, and it was written in Joshua chapter 2. It says, "Now Joshua the son of Nun sent out 2 men from Acacia Grove to spy secretly, saying, 'Go and view the land, especially Jericho.' So they went and came to the house of harlot named Rahab, and lodged there. And it was told the king of Jericho, saying, 'Behold, men have come here tonight from the children of Israel to search out the country.'" When I read this story, it's very interesting. Now, Joshua made a decision, and he would face the challenge right in front of him, one just at a time. So first they had to cross the Jordan River, right? And after that, they were going to face the first major obstacle, the largest city, the castle called Jericho. And then before anything else, he sent spies to assess the situation inside the land. So he sent 2 spies. It reminds him of 40 years ago that he was once a spy, right? 40 years ago, 40 years before 40 years, when he was very young, he was sent by Moses. Back in those days, Moses chose 12 people, right? 1 person from each tribe, and then he sent 12 men as spies to Canaan. But when they came back, 10 of them, they brought a negative report, right? Was it beautiful land? Milk and honey? But we can't enter because they are too strong. That was their report. And then as a result, the people gave up, right? So they decided to stay in the wilderness, in desert. So this time, Joshua did things differently. He just chose 2 men as spies, and then he sent them secretly. Then they somehow managed to sneak into the city of Jericho. But I think these spies were very uneducated, untrained spies, right? They got caught on the first day, first night. It's very interesting. A few years ago, I watched a movie about British spies. who infiltrated like German Nazi, like during World War II. And before they sent spies, they went through intense training, right? So they learned like German language, of course, and their like cultural habits, even gestures, and also jokes that Germans enjoy. And they gather like a top level of agents, and they train them, and then they send them as a spy. But these two men, two Israelite spies, they're like amateurs, right? It's not professional spies. They got caught on day one. And luckily or thankfully, at the very crucial moment, Rahab, the lady, helped them. And she hid them on the roof, so they barely survived. And in Joshua chapter 2, there is a short story, a background story of Rahab, why she chose to help them. In chapter 2, from verse 8 to 11, it says, "Now before they lay down, she came up to them on the roof and said to man, I know that the Lord has given to you the land, that the terror of you has fallen us, and that all the inhabitants of the land are faint-hearted because of you. For we have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea for you, and when you came out of Egypt, and what you did to the two kings of the Amorites who were on the other side of Jordan, and Sihon and Og, whom you utterly destroyed. And as soon as we heard these things, our hearts melted, and neither did there remain any more courage in anyone because of you. For the Lord your God, He is God in heaven above and on earth beneath." This is what Rahab told to spies. She shared it's a very amazing story, right? Because she has been heard of God for many, many years. So now she's ready to be like a part of His kingdom, right? And with this story, this experience reveals a very crucial truth, right? She said that everyone in Canaan, including her, they've heard about the Exodus. And the entire land was in fear, on high alert. But when Israel turned away and they wandered in the wilderness, now it's 40 years past. And most people return to life as usual. They're already forgotten. But Rahab, she didn't forget. Even though she lived in Canaan, she longed to belong to the nation of God. So when the spies arrived there and she saw her opportunity and seized it, so she said, "The Lord your God is God in heaven above and on the earth below." In other words, she is saying that I want to be a woman. I want to be a daughter of God. I want to be a part of His people. Please save me. Please save my family. She then let the spies escape through a rope from her window. When you read Joshua chapter 2, verse 18 and 20, it's very interesting. Before two spies left Rahab's home. Joshua chapter 2, verse 18. Oh, thank you. Is it yesterday's sermon? So where are we now? Sorry. All right. So before they just left her home, they said, "When we come into land, you bind this line of scarlet cord in the window through which you let us down, and bring your father, your mother, your brothers, and all your father's household to your own home." So the two spies told her to bind the scarlet cord that she let them down. And then they said like, when we come into the land, right? So it means when the battle begins, right? Just hang this cord just before the battle begins. But this is amazing reply from her. She said, "According to your word, so be it." And she sent them away, and they departed. And she bound the scarlet cord in the window. She didn't hesitate. She didn't hesitate. What color is this? It's a red, right? It's a red. Everyone can notice how that's a kind of sign, right? But she just bound the scarlet cord in the window. This is action. This is action of faith. Just like this, sometimes, like Christians, we live like Canaanites. Have you ever thought why Joshua sent two stupid spies? Imagine if you send spies, you have to train them, right? You have to make them, you have to clothe them, you have to let them act like Canaanites. But their gestures or their language or even their dress was not like Canaanites. It's very interesting. God wants us to make clear decision. Rahab made her choice. And after this day, the two spies they hid in the bush for 3 days, and they returned to their base. And then they made a report. They reported to Joshua about what they saw in the land of Canaan. The Bible says 2 men returned and descended from the mountain and crossed over. And they came to Joshua, the son of Nun, and told him all that had befallen them. And they said to Joshua, "Truly the Lord has delivered all the land into our hands, for indeed all the inhabitants of the country are faint-hearted because of us." Is it true? Did they see it? No, they just heard from Rahab, right? It's the worst spies I ever seen. They've got caught on the first night, and they just hid in the bush for 3 days, and they came back. And they said, "We had enough. I observed there enough. We know everything about their land. The people? Yeah." What if your spy reports you such a things? Would you say, "Good job"? Can you accept it? They brought nothing. Nothing useful, right? Just imagine, like, if you are a Joshua and then you are a leader of Israel and then you have to spy the land, what kind of information would you like to collect? Number of soldiers, location of watchtower, or the thickness of a wall, how tall it is, or how thick it is, and then the location, exact location of the gate, right? You have to spy all of it. You have to collect all the informations before you begin battle. But these spies, they brought nothing to me. They brought back nothing useful. People might ask, hey, how many soldiers do they have? Many, a lot. Have you counted how many gates are there? I saw 2. And there might be some more. Or have you got a map? Do you know where the watchtower is? No, nothing. They spent 4 days there, but they couldn't collect any useful information. And they came back to Joshua. But this is amazing, how Joshua responded to them. In chapter 3:1, there is no verbal response, but there is the next action that Joshua took after the spies came back to him. Then what? Joshua rose early in the morning, and they set out from Acacia Grove and came to the Jordan, he and all the children of Israel, and lodged there before they crossed over. This is a very simple statement, but this is very powerful. It means he accepted the report. Okay, you brought a good information to me. How? How come? Why did Joshua was pleased with what they brought, what the spies brought to him? He was satisfied with their report. Why? Because they brought useful information. Because they confirmed what Joshua actually wanted to know. What was it? The story of one lady that God wanted to save. He confirmed. He checked. Oh, yes. God is already there. He has been worked for 40 years while we were going around in the wilderness. That's what Joshua wanted to know. This is a very important lesson that we need to learn. He just wanted one thing confirmed. Is the Lord already there? Is this the path God is leading us on? Is Jericho the first target I had in mind, the same target God has chosen? And the spies report answered that question. Their testimony revealed something powerful. God had been there working in Canaan long before they ever arrived. Even when Israel was confused, stuck at the Red Sea, knowing nothing about the future, God was already there preparing the land. He was making a way and establishing their victory before they even took a single step. This is what Joshua truly wanted to know through spying that land. This reminds me of a story about President Abraham Lincoln during the American Civil War. At one point, the Union Army kept losing battle after battle. So they kept losing. So Lincoln was under such a heavy pressure that his weight dropped from 83 kilograms to just 57 kilograms. So it was just really stressful to him. Then after the battle of Antietam, the Union Army finally claimed the victory. They won the battle. With a great joy, a staff officer approached Lincoln and congratulating him. Mr. President, congratulations. Now you can have a rest. I'm sure God is on our side. God is with us. But Lincoln, with a serious look, he responded, that is not what concerns me. My biggest concern is not whether God is on our side, but whether we are on His side. When I know I am on God's side, I have no fear. The real question is this: am I standing with God? That's the faith of life. Joshua wanted to know that. He wanted to know if God is there, because he was going to attack Jericho. It's not about asking God to be on my side, to support my dreams, support your opinions or your personal plans. It's about asking yourself, am I on God's side? Am I listening to His voice? Am I joining in His mission? The first step was to learn the manual, training yourself to follow it and rehearsing it over and over, and reminding yourself of it whenever you feel shaken. That was the first command that God gave to Joshua. The second step is to act according to the manual. Sending out the spies, but not to rely on human strategies or useful informations, but to confirm how God will lead this battle. Ask yourself every day, is this God's path? Is this His will? Does this align with His heart? Now, the difference between 40 years ago, the spies 40 years ago, and the two spies today lies in what they were looking for. Remember, 40 years ago, back then, they wanted to see if the land was good, if it was flowing with milk and honey, if it was a place where they could build their homes and live in comfort. But now, two spies and Joshua, their question has changed. They were not looking for a comfort anymore, and they were looking for God. They wanted to know, is God in Jericho? Is this where He wants us to go? The manual does not tell us how strong the enemy is. God never gave them details. how many people are in Jericho or how strong they are or what is their weakness. God never told him that. But the manual teaches us one thing. Even when we do not know anything, even when the future is uncertain, we can find the peace in one simple truth. God is with us, and I am with God. If we are where He is, then we are exactly where we need to be. So where are you standing now? What are you truly seeking? What are you spying now? Are you checking to see if the place has the things that makes your life more comfortable and happier? Or are you checking to see if when you get there, God will be pleased with you being there? What kind of spy would you like to be? 007? I love these spies, 2 spies. Worst spies in the world. There is nothing. They had nothing like Canaanites. Their looks, their language, everything was different. So they got caught on the first night. But they saw everything they need. They saw God was already there. And that was enough, far enough, than any information. This is the question the Lord is asking us. Hey, what kind of spy would you like to be? Let's answer the question through our prayer tonight. God bless you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.